Welcome to FX Options University, recorded live at the International Securities Exchange, the world's largest equity options exchange. Join the industry's top trading professionals as they provide insight and strategies for trading in the currency markets using FX options. FX options are a low-risk alternative to hedging currency moves in any market condition.
Welcome, everyone. This is Steve Meisinger, your host for today's ISE webinar. As you know, every Tuesday we bring educational material to investors as it relates to FX options. So today we have Scott Downing with us, and Scott will be talking about trading the trend using FX options. Scott is the Director of Research at BigTrends. He works very closely with Price Headley. Price has been with us numerous times, and you know that Price and Scott look at the big trends. And that's the name of their company, and they really do. They look for the macro trends, macro meaning sort of the long, a little bit bigger perspective than some, and that's what they believe in, just trading the trend. So I want to thank Scott Downing from BigTrends. Scott, Steve Meisinger, thanks so much for joining us here at the IC today.
You're welcome, Steve. Thanks for having me, and thanks for all of the great educational material that you really share with investors. Obviously, at BigTrends, it's really important for us to share all the different information and all the knowledge that we've been able to gain from the markets over our combined 50-plus years of trading the market. So education is a push and a focus for us, especially lately with all the volatility that's been ratcheted up in the market over the last 18 months or 2 years or so. So we are going to talk today, as Steve mentioned, about trend trading FX options. There's lots of different strategies for trading in general, and even for trading FX options. As our name implies, being BigTrends, we're trend traders first and foremost. So we don't like to trade range-bound markets. And that's something that you'll see when we take a look at some charts here in a little bit. We're really looking for a lot of the breakout momentum type moves. Those are the trades that we really like to place, and then we've spent time developing a lot of technical indicators, some of them proprietary in-house, some of them taking existing indicators and tweaking them a little bit to put our own little spin on it and help us find those specific trends that we're looking for. So with all that said, we'll go ahead and get started here today. Now, I do want to go ahead and share with you here before we get started that any of the information that we discuss here today and that we review is really just for educational purposes only. And that's fantastic for you because, since it is not to be construed as any recommendation, that means that it's just information into your data bank. And from there, it gives you another tool to be able to go out and actively trade the markets in the way that best fits your particular style, your technique, and best suits your particular financial situation. So that's one of the really strong advantages of webinars like this through the ISE, through BigTrends, and really getting your hands on some of this quality educational content. So I just want to make sure that all that was presented to you before we get started here today. Now, for those of you who might be new, just a quick review about the ISE FX options. Anybody, as Steve alluded to earlier, who has an account where you are eligible for options trading. So through any options broker, you can trade the ISE FX options. They are exchange listed and settled in US dollars. You can also put some spread trades on, which I have found very useful here, especially as of late. All the different currencies and symbols are listed here. And as you can see, they both have them both with the US dollar in the numerator as well as the denominator for a couple of different pairs, some of the majors, the Australian dollar, British pound, the euro, and the Kiwi, the New Zealand dollar. So, there's lots of different opportunities for you to be able to get out there and trade the markets, and this is a really huge advantage because a lot of people think that you have to have a Forex account ultimately to trade currencies, and that's just simply not the case anymore. Really, that the ISE has done here with their FX options. So just another quick intro here to BigTrends, kind of who we are and what we're all about. We have been in business as a company since 1999, and as I mentioned, we do have a number of proprietary in-house trading techniques and indicators that I'll review a few of them with you here a little later today. Price Healy is our CEO and founder. He was inducted in the Traders Hall of Fame. And all the portfolio managers, including myself, are certified and trained by him. We, on a regular basis, to our subscriber base, we produce a broad range of options trading education and options trading newsletter material. So we are really focused in the options world. And that's one of the reasons we were so excited when the ISE came out with the FX options, because I personally like the angle of trading currencies, and it's something that I've been successful at and has appealed to me for a while, but a whole new universe has been opened up here with the ISE FX options. I'm not personally someone who likes to trade the spot market, and stay up until all hours of the night, and get up at 1 or 2 in the morning, and I know that my wife definitely doesn't like that either. So the FX options really gives me an area to focus during some of those regular market hours. And then finally, our whole as options traders is just to be able to profit in any market environment. So bullish, bearish, or neutral. Obviously, options give you the ability through different strategies to do all the above. So that's really our ultimate overall goal. Quick background on myself, so you can get a little familiar with who I am and what I do. I am the Director of Research, as Steve mentioned, at BigTrends.com. So whether it is an educational product such as a DVD string, or whether it is a newsletter where we point out specific recommendations on particular options, all that does flow through my desk. Previous to coming to BigTrends, I worked for the Vanguard Group, the mutual fund company, in their high net worth retirement department. My particular role was a retirement services specialist. So working with clients to help them manage risk, help them diversify, and really help them maximize their gains on their portfolio without having to take undue risk, and ultimately using some option strategies through some of those retirement accounts or some of those longer term type investments accounts to really manage their risk during the process. Currently still hold my FINRA Series 6 and 63 securities licenses. Then I'm coming up on my 15th year here in terms of actively investing in the stock market. So as an options trader, what are some of the characteristics that you need to have to be successful? Well, first and foremost, obviously, it's profitability. But how do we get to profitability? One of the easiest ways that we believe that you get to profitability is by having the essentials. And by the essentials, we simply mean accuracy and consistency. If you can be accurate and you can be consistent, then over time you're going to be profitable. And that's really what it comes down to. Now, the only way, obviously, that you're going to be able to maintain yourself, maintain your account as a trader or an active investor is by being profitable. So that should always be the mindset that you're approaching, is achieving that profitability. Now, obviously, emotions can come into play when you're talking about profitability because you're obviously talking about money. So you always have to keep your emotions in check and manage those emotions, that fear and greed never creep in and get the best of you in any particular situation, especially when you're making trading decisions. The best way that we have found to manage some of that emotional side of trading and investing is through technical analysis.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. Get trading ideas, exchange rates, webinars, news, and commentary. Visit www.fxoptions.com. ISE FX options can be easily traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in U.S. dollars and have a European-style exercise.